Hey everyone, it is Tasty Taste from Blood of Kittens, and in this week's video, we're going to talk about the end of the Tyranid domination. Yay! But we'll get to that right after this quick intro. Hello and welcome back to the week that was in Warhammer 40k tournaments, where we speed through some of the winning lists from the previous weekend. Last weekend saw 9 events with at least 5 rounds and 28 players, with 4 major events. Tyranids grabbed 8 of the 27 possible top 3 podiums, but the Tau Empire were hot on their heels, taking more first place podiums from the weekend. With that, let's take a quick sample look at some of the lists that tried to stand out from the 9 tournaments over the weekend. Let's start with the largest event from the weekend, and that was the Atlantic City Open with over 180 players. Winning it all was Thomas Ogden and his Tau Empire going 9-0. Thomas's Tau doesn't change up much when it comes to the bread and butter of the prime Tau lists, going hard into crisis suits along with long strike to kill any single key units. Thomas's road went through Bloody Sisters, Harlequins, another Harlequins, then a third Harlequins, followed by Nids, some more Nids, then back to Harlequins, then some Thousand Suns, and finally Tyranids. The other major event with over 100 players was the GW Ran US Open San Diego, where second place finisher Cooper Waddell's Tyranids showed some minor tweaks we could soon see with Tyranids once the point changes come through. Cooper threw in the underrated Exocrine along with shooty Carnifexes for overwhelming DACA. Cooper went 7-1, only losing in the final round. He had to face Necrons, Black Templars, Adeptus Custodes, Tyranids, more Tyranids, then finally Tyranids again, followed by Tau, and then finally losing to Tau in the final round. The next major was the charity event War Games for Warriors, and Scott Rumble grabbing third place with his Space Wolves. This Space Wolf list doesn't move away from the Jump Pack Wolf Guard, along with taking 15 Wolfen for super in-your-face damage dealing. Along for the ride also was the must-haves of Longfang Melted Drop Pod and objective grabbing eliminators. Scott went 5-1 against Blood Angels, Custodes, Tyranids, Valorous Heart Sisters, then he lost to Tyranids, and then won finally against Iron Hands. Moving to the Grinning Demon GT, we have Sam Procopio and his Blood Angels beating out Tyranids and Eldari to get first place. Sam's Blood Angels went 6-0, taking the usual suspects of Sanguinary Guard and Jump Pack Death Company, but he also added in some Eliminators and Eradicators for some extra flexibility depending on his opponent. Sam's victory went through Death Watch, Sisters of Battle, Tyranids, Ravenwing Dark Angels, then Custodes, and finally Harlequin. Next, we traveled down under to the venerable Terracon Major, where we had Adam Cavalari's Dark Angels getting third place, going 5-1. Adam's list, while going heavy into Terminators, did feature some amazing tech, including 3 Storm Speeders and Dark Talons for high damage output, along with bikes for objective grabbing. Adam had to face Harlequins, a strange Bellacore Mortarion list, some Iron Hands, Dark Eldar, then he lost to Tau, but followed up by beating Tyranids. Next, at the Pecking Order Summer GT, James Lee grabbed third place finish with Adeptus Custodes, and a list that I have been waiting for a while now. Since Custodes got hit hardest with the last round of nerfs, the shift to going all troop spam seemed sensible, and James did just that. He also threw in a host of grav tanks to mix things up. James went 4-1 with victories against Chaos Space Marines, Sisters, Tau, Grey Knights, then he got beat by the second place Tau finisher. At the Curtonian GT Total Carnage, another third place finisher was Joss Holder, with Grey Knights going 4-1 with no Dread Knights. Yes, that is correct. Josh List had no Dread Knights, instead filling it with Paladins and Purifiers. Josh's games were against Ultramarines, Tau, then he oddly lost to Drukhari, then followed up by beating Custodes, and finally Imperial Knights. Surprises were had at the Branson Brawl GT, and Richard Smith getting first place with his Imperial Knights, beating out Tyranids and Eldari. Richard went with House Tyrannus. Richard's list didn't, though, focus on just one particular knight chassis. Instead, he went with all different kinds to score his 5 victories. Richard's Knights beat Grey Knights, Black Templars, Eldari, Death Guard, then finished it off by killing a weird Imperial Knight Custodes combo. Last, we head to Dunn Northwest GT and Mike Porter winning it all with Thousand Suns. Mike's Thousand Suns are not anything special, going with Cult of Duplicity and the standard 2 unkillable blocks of Cult Terminators. Mike did, though, run 9 Spawn, which you don't see typically winning in Thousand Sun lists. Mike faced Harlequins, Grey Knights, Ultramarines, then Sisters, and finally beat Eldari to win the whole thing. Well, that will do it for this week. Thanks for watching. Changes are coming now that the chapter proof is just a week and a half away. Expect a juggling of the meta, especially if the rumor point changes become true. As always, don't forget though, if you want to see the rest of the top 3 lists in detail, click on the links in the description below. And also, as always, if you like this content, please leave a comment, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell.